Arms, again, for Trevor, they're not an issue with him. They keep growing, whether he's just using them to eat or whatever. So we tend to well, just that whole motion of, well, and other motions he probably does too. We won't get into that. But so we don't really put a lot of emphasis on it, but we'll do generally 12, 15 kind of sets for arms.
My arms require a lot more blood now, and as a result, it's a fatiguing day for me. So this is another exercise that there'll be a lot of comments, a lot of people talk about full range of motion, and we just try to avoid locking out, certainly locking out the elbow on the bottom, and then coming up just as far as we get a good squeeze in the bicep. As soon as you lock out, you're putting a lot of pressure on your elbow, and I have actually hurt my elbow doing preacher curl before, so I just try to avoid it. One more. I said last one, and I realized I've never said last one before. Even I didn't know what that meant. So I decided I'd do one more just so we're both on the same page. All right? Nope. Yeah. This next exercise we're going to do is basically it's more like rope hammer curls basically. So again, again we're trying to hit more of the lower part of the bicep again, brachioradialis more so. So basically you have on your arm you have a muscle in between as well, so it makes you have that more of a 3D kind of look to your arms as opposed to just, you know, hitting the bicep to get more of a peak. It's what feels right, where the muscle is getting the best contraction. And my range of motion is quite small, especially here where we're doing it as a second exercise. My arms are really full of blood already. Again, I don't lock out my elbow going down, so I make sure that I don't do that. And then when I come up, my arms are so full right now, forearms and biceps, that when I come up, they can only come up so far anyway because one is between the other. So I try to get as far as I can, but make sure that contraction stays in place. We'll get parallels on the left. One time when I was working out with Partlow, I got him to drop the weight and move the pin. I was called a diva for the rest of the workout. grab me the 30s. The fives and I wouldn't be able to do any.
Muscle size has nothing to do with how much a guy can actually lift or how strong they are, that's for sure. I mean, you see a lot of guys that don't lift real heavy in certain movements and they're massive. So like I say, we don't care about when people ask you how much you lift. It's more we're focusing on what you look like. One more set, Trev.
One more of those?
Yeah.
Oh, you f***er.
That's one of these this whole.
So this is my personal training studio. My concept behind this is just mostly I do one-on-one private training sessions in here. Anytime somebody comes in here to train, they're just training with me. There's no other people traipsing around using other equipment. My hopes was to get people that weren't maybe ready for the gym atmosphere to start out here, get comfortable with training so it's not so foreign to them, so they have the confidence to take it to the gym eventually.
That's a big part of it for us, is having that support between the two of us, whether she's competing or I am, or we're in the off season and we just want to make the changes that we're trying to make for the next competition. Having the support of each other and knowing what each other's going through, and especially people comment and say how hard it must be when we're both in contest prep together, and we actually prefer it because we know where each other's at. We can kind of one's having kind of, and it's not necessarily a bad day, but just a bad moment, right? You just get frustrated all of a sudden, and it's like any relationship. It's like any average day in the life of a married couple with a child and house and mortgage and everything else. There's times that you just need that support, and just knowing what the other is going through and why they're going through it and the challenge of going through it makes a huge difference.
You know, we know what to expect. There's obviously days where you feel like maybe you're not where you need to be. It's good to have somebody who can actually give you some solid feedback in that respect. I mean, not everybody can see the transformation in their physique from, you know, day to day, week to week, but when you live with somebody who's also going through that, you kind of have somebody that can give you like solid feedback immediately, as opposed to, you know, emailing your trainer with pictures and things like that. So it works well.
As long as we are honest with each other, then we can make those changes. And if you're not being honest, then you're not preparing the other for the contest the way they need to be prepared.
I don't get looks if I'm walking around in the street with Trevor. Trevor gets looks, and usually I see the looks that people are giving Trevor, which is fairly entertaining. It's fun to walk behind Trevor for the most part. People don't see you, but you get some interesting feedback.